Hello and welcome to my 5th knitting podcast. I am the Tipsy Knitter and it is the 4th of July. My name is Nissa Wilson. As I said before, I'm the Tipsy Knitter and a car alarm just started going off outside. It sounds like a lot of fireworks going off outside because there are. And yeah, my dog hates it. He's really upset. Aren't you, Vallo? He's laying down beside me because it's the most terrifying thing in the world for him. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of get back to you and share with you some more of my knitting adventures that I have been going on. It's been a really busy, really like I don't know, month and a half, something like that, since I last posted a knitting video. And yeah, so first things first, I'm the Tipsy Knitter, I said that, and I love to drink craft beer. So I usually try to drink a craft beer while I am doing my knitting podcast. So this is my English Mild that I just brewed, and isn't that a pretty color? It is not as clear as I was hoping it to be, but it's from the bottom of the keg right now, so maybe as I have a couple more glasses of it, it will, I don't know, maybe it will get clearer. Maybe I have to do another gelatin edition. Has anyone done 2 gelatin editions? But anyway, here it is, guys, and I brewed this for the SJ Pour Challenge. It is English Mild, and I love it. It's delicious. If it clears up more, I'll definitely be submitting it because it is a brewlicious beer. I think that, I mean, I don't know if I could win any prizes with it, but I certainly like it. I like it quite a bit. So, cheers everyone. There's my beer. So, you probably already noticed that I am wearing this beauty. Last video I basically had it done, but I hadn't done these little nuppy things. They're called, I don't remember what they're called actually. I hadn't done the little tassel-y things on the bottom yet. And, oh, I should tell you what this is. This is the Doodler shawl by Stephen West, and that's a paid-for pattern, and everyone's been doing them. And so I doodled a Doodler as well. I made a couple changes to the pattern because I wanted to reincorporate some of my speckled yarn on the edge. And then, so I added kind of an extra, I did 3 rows right here, and then I added this extra speckled edge. So it's 3 wedge, I think he called them wedges, 3 wedges with the green in between. So I added a couple rows with that. And then, yeah, and then I did my edge in blue, my little doodad edge, and then the speckledy edge back in the speckles again. So anyway, let me show you. I finished it, I blocked it, and it is ginormous. Sorry, I'm in my running clothes because I just, you know, it's 4th of July. I just didn't want to be too fancy today. I just put on some gym clothes. But yeah, so this is fancy. Here it is. It's huge. I named it Pangea, I think. I named it Pangea on, I think it's that Pangea on Ravelry too. But it's beautiful. I love how it turned out. I used Cascade Heritage for sock yarn for the yellowy lime color and the blue, and then this other one is Plymouth Happy Feet 100 Splash in the color Oreo. So yeah, that's my Doodler, and I am very pleased. It's super soft, it's humongo, and it's great. It's totally my colors too, so I'm glad to have it done. This was a little while ago, but it feels good to finally, you know, have a shawl for myself that I really, really, it's fun, and I can wear it just any day and have fun with it. But yeah, so that's my first finished object, I guess, and I thought I'd get it out of the way since I was wearing it. But before I go on, I'm gonna tell you a little bit what's been happening in my life. I've been traveling quite a bit for work. I've been going down to Tennessee mostly and doing bat surveys. That's what I do. I'm a biologist and I do bat surveys in the summer. Not bass, bats, like the flying mammal. So, that's been fun. I've been to a few yarn shops in Tennessee, and I'll talk a little bit more about those. And, yeah, what else? I've been busy with work. It's my busy season since I'm a biologist. The summer is when we do all our stuff, right? So, yeah, so I've been going down there, I've been coming back. Just recently, for the 4th of July, we went to my mother-in-law's house, so my husband's hometown, and just kind of had a relaxing time. The weather wasn't so great, so we didn't really do too much. We went out for Mexican one night. How patriotic, right? But I don't know, it's been going really good for me, especially in terms of knitting. I've been kicking butt on my knitting projects. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say, my mother-in-law got a puppy, and his name is Gus. And so we took Vallo, my dog, down to my mother-in-law's house, and Vallo got to meet Gus. And Gus is a Great Pyrenees puppy. He's just a fluff, just one cute fluff, and he's lazy. Like, I've never seen a puppy so lazy. He just, like, flops down, lays down, and looks at you. Or he, like, runs around, and then flops down in a corner. But anyway, let's see. So, we went and saw Gus. And Vallo and Gus, first they kind of had to hash it out. But then they kind of started getting along. And it was really cute because Val's not really used to being around other animals. And, yeah, it was really fun to see him and stuff. And, I'll post a video. It was like the cutest thing. I almost couldn't rip myself away from Gus. I wanted to take him home with me. But, you know, one puppy is probably enough right now. But, yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was fun to see the puppy. Let's see. I guess from there, I'm gonna go into my other finished objects, because that's awesome, and I love showing off what I did. So I finished my Doodler, and then the next project that I cast on was, well, I don't know if I showed this last time. I didn't bother to go and check, but I knit this little vest for my nephew's birthday, and then I didn't give it to him because I thought, I kind of chickened out, because I was like, oh, it's too long. But it's got buttons up the side and then buttons right here. It's like an easy access, easy peasy vest. And it's just in Hobby Lobby cottons. I love this cotton in red, blue, and light blue. And I should have brought it down for the 4th of July. I didn't even think of it, because he's a little bigger now, and it probably would have fit him now. But anyway, I think I want to call this the manly vest, but I know that's not the name of the pattern. I'll find the name of the pattern and I will post it, because this one I couldn't find before my phone died. Yeah, so, yeah, I should have brought it down, but, I didn't, and I forgot all about it, and the buttons are a little bit too small, and so the ones on the side kind of keep coming unbuttoned. I might need to, see if there one goes. I might need to redo them in bigger sized buttons, but I don't know if I have any bigger buttons. Do you have any hints on how to make your buttholes buttonholes smaller, because I try everything and my buttonholes always end up being too big for my buttons. It's sad. So I can't give Carter this as it stands, but it is super cute. It's a easy knit, except for, I would say, if you're gonna do it for a boy, which it's a little vest, so you probably will, I'd shorten it by like maybe 5 rows, maybe more, maybe 10 rows. But anyway, there's that finished object. I hope I didn't show that last time. But so from there, I talked about in my last video that I got this book called Amigurumi Knits. Amigurumi Knits by Hansi, Singh, or Singh, I'm not sure. And I knit a squid. It's called a kraken in the book. And I was inspired because it's so cute, and I have some yarn that I hand dyed that looks very similar to this pattern. So I went ahead and I knit a kraken, and I just finished him like 4 days ago, and here he is. Oh my gosh, look at my squid. Just feast your eyes on it. So cute. So this is my hand dyed, here it is, hand dyed Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool. And it's dyed with like Rit, food coloring, and Kool-Aid. I just went for it. And I was going for speckled, and it looks like it's pretty speckled to me. I love the result. I love how it knits up. It looks great. And as far as the other colors go, I used Patton's worsted called Passion Heather for the underside and for his eyeballs. And then I just used some Plymouth, I just had some Plymouth worsted yarn. I don't know what it is. It's just a kind of a 2-ply worsted thing that I found. And yeah, it took forever to knit all these tentacles, and then the grasping tentacles, and then you have to graft them. I don't know, I guess you wouldn't call it graft, but you have to knit them all together, picking up stitches from each tentacle, and then you have to bind it off on the bottom too. And yeah, so then you pick up, so you pick up stitches on the bottom, and then you knit, and then knit 2 together kind of a thing, but I just used more of a crochet hook on the bottom. I picked up the stitches first, and then I kind of crocheted them together, single crochet, and then crochet 2 together, and then I ended up having a circle, and I just pulled through. Anyway, if you look me up, Tipsy Knitter on Ravelry, you can find more detail on how I made the squid. But these eyes were really rough. I basically followed the instructions, except for I used a crochet hook to do that little magic loop method for circular crochet, where you like make the loop and then pull it tight. So excuse me, you needed 8 stitches on, kind of, to start, 4 and then 8. So I just single crocheted 8 stitches on this little loop and then pulled it tight. So that kind of gave me a little circle. I don't know if you can see that very well, but a circle for his eye. And I don't know, I just had to switch needles. This was all done on size 5, but then I had to switch to a size 3 to get these eyes to come out small enough so they'd fit on his head part. And that could be that this is a little bit of a thinner worsted yarn than these two, which are, I don't know, whatever. These are bigger, a little bit of a bigger worsted than the body fabric. And yeah, he's pretty much the cutest thing in the entire universe. I think I'm gonna knit my niece an octopus, because she saw Finding Dory, and I guess there's Hank the octopus is on there. But I'm having trouble finding that salmon, but yet red based, like red background color salmon for Hank the octopus. But anyway, there's my Squiddy. He took me probably like 15 hours, maybe more, maybe 20. I mean, I would watch an episode of Doctor Who and just like knit 1 or 2 tentacles. And he has 10! 10! Squids have 10 tentacles. So they got all these 8 regular ones, and then these grasping ones too. It sucks. I thought I was in for 8. Like, look at me, the biologist. And I don't even know how many tentacles a squid has, whatever. But anyway, I haven't taken zoology in a while, and I don't know. So that's my squid. I didn't put pipe cleaners in him. This pattern says you can optionally put pipe cleaners in the legs, and then you can pose them. But I find that the ones online that had the pipe cleaners in them kind of looked like, I don't know, the poses, it just kind of looks stiff, you know? I didn't want my squid to look stiff, and when I started knitting the tentacles, they had a little bit of a curve to them anyway, so I just went with it, and I didn't want to stuff the straw, or, you know, the pipe cleaners in to the tentacles anyway. I didn't want to do that. But anyway, there's my squid. You saw him first here on Mrs. Podcast. But oh, that's good. Let's see what else. So last episode I talked about my spinning, and my spinning has been going great. I spend a lot of time on it, and finally got what I would consider it's in a hank right now. It's something like a 53 gram skein of yarn. So I started with this, and I'm so proud of myself about this. I'm going to be spinning in the future, that's for sure. So I started with this, obviously a lot more, but this is just a chunk. And this is by Frabjous Fibers. It's called Purple People Eater colorway, and it is a top wool Portsmouth, and it is so soft. If I saw Portsmouth in a store now, you know, for a sheep breed, I would buy it after working with it and seeing how it spins up. Although I haven't knit with this, my finished hank yet. It was just really fun. I loved doing it, and I got rid of the first couple little balls that I made, but then I ended up just going with it, and I have a 1 ply. I didn't ply together. I'm going to do that next time, maybe. I have a single ply hank of yarn, and here it actually, I won't show you yet. First, I want to talk about Frabjous Fibers. So Frabjous Fibers is, if you know Lewis Carroll's poem Frabjous Day, it's when the poem is Jabberwocky, and the Jabberwocky is slain on Frabjous Day. And the yarn side of this company is called Wonderland Yarns. So Alice in Wonderland themed Frabjous Fibers. I wasn't making the connection before. I didn't know what Frabjous was, and then something snapped in my head, and I was like, oh yeah, it's the day that you slay the Jabberwocky, obviously. But anyway, so I thought that was really cute. It's just interesting. But here is my hank, my skein, and it is, I don't know if you can see it like against something white, I don't know, but anyway, it's just this, so many different colors of purple, and I would call it right now, I would call it DK weight. DK weight yarn. I don't know how many yards it is, but it's about 53, I think, grams. And I already soaked it, so it's it's plumped up quite a bit, and it's kind of thick and thin. But overall, I love it. I am so proud. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. I should probably make something out of this before I spin more, because I want it to be consistent. You know, I don't want to start spinning and then it be kind of different or whatever, and different width. no, yeah, width, whatever. A different weight, that's what I'm trying to say. But, yeah, I love this. I love it so much. I just am really proud of this stupid little skein of yarn. It is so fun, and I'm just tickled that I made it. And I might be investing in a spinning wheel, to be honest. I think this is so neat, but that's probably not till later. Later on, I might invest in a spinning wheel. I've got some other things that I want to buy, right? So there is my skein, my hank that I spun myself. So I think from there, I am going to show my big finished object that you've never seen before. Last episode, I talked about Into the Woods owl shawl. And let me see on my notes. It is a free pattern by Marva Maida. And it's just beautiful, and it's got owls on it, and lace, and cables, anything that you would ask for in a shawl, and leaves. And so I said initially, I showed you this yarn that I was going to knit it out of, which was Knit Pick Stroll in tweed dill colorway. And I ended up not knitting it up in that because I looked at it and I was like, it's just too dark. I don't want it to be that dark. I want you to be able to see the shadows with the cables and stuff like that better. And so I dumped that yarn. I didn't dump it. It's still in my stash, but I'm not using it. I didn't use it for the shawl, and I just knit the entire shawl in Knit Pick's palette yarn. So their cheapest, basically their cheapest fingering weight yarn that they have, and I bought 5 skeins of the colorway called Tarragon. And Tarragon is a much lighter green, and it's going to show up on the camera. I was looking at it earlier, and it's going to show up a little bit more like lime green, but it's not, well, it is kind of lime green, but it's not as lime as you will see it. It's a little bit more like a Kermit the Frog green. So here it is. Let me show you the majesty. This is Into the Woods. It took me forever and ever and ever, but I got it done, and oops, and it is super, super pretty. It's got the owls on it, it's got leaves on the top, and then it goes into the owls, and then it's got this thing called the lattice stitch right here in the middle, between the lace and the owls, and then on the bottom is this lace coupled with the cable pattern that's up on the top with the leaves. So then the cable pattern repeats itself on the bottom. And I kind of blocked it out so it had little points on here. But the points seem to have gone away, I guess, which is fine because that's actually how it's shown in the picture. But I just saw other people on Ravelry had blocked it, pointed. Some modifications I did to the pattern. Let me see. Maybe I should try to pull myself back. Some modifications were, I made the owls shorter. So they're 2 rows shorter than the pattern. And then the nups for the eyes, I did with a crochet hook. And they are 6 stitches apart instead of 2 stitches apart. And I also widened the seed stitch so that he's got a bigger belly in the middle. Just 1 extra row of seed stitch. So he's got a cute bigger owl belly that's a little fatter. And what else did I modify? I didn't do the very end kind of chain crochet stitches on the pattern. I didn't want to do that. I just didn't feel like the pattern was like, I didn't feel like the pattern was, I don't know how to say this. I felt like the pattern was too complicated already. There was so much going on inside it that it just didn't need that extra little frill on the bottom, which I think it's supposed to be feathers or something like that. But anyway, since this is not a palette yarn, and it's what I had, you know, it's not as soft as my Exploration Station, but it is really pretty soft, and it's beautiful. It's very, very, I don't know what the word would be. It's very majestic or something, and I love it. It's great. So this is going to be one of my auntie shawls for possibly my Aunt Leanne. I am knitting shawls for each one of my aunts on my mom's side of the family. There are 4 aunts and then my mom, so 5 sisters. I'm hoping to get one done for all of them and my mother. And yeah, so this is one maybe for my Aunt Leanne. And yeah, it's super pretty. Great free pattern, and it's kind of some weird increases in here, I will say. I didn't understand how to increase very well apparently after the leaves got done, but I had to decrease after I increased too much. But and it kind of blocked out, you know, it didn't block out completely half moon, which I was kind of thinking it would. But that's okay. It's really, really pretty, and hopefully the sister that gets it, the auntie that gets it, will love it as much as I do. So there's my Into the Woods. Very fun. Took me forever. I am so happy to be done with it. I knit a lot of it while I was in Tennessee for work, and this lace at the bottom, oh my gosh. I went so crazy doing it because it's just over and over and over, same thing, and it wasn't, you know, I don't know. Anywho, it was rough, and now I'm done, and I'm super glad, and that's how every shawl seems to go, I feel like, for me. But that is, oh no, I do have one more finished object for you. God, this is a huge episode, isn't it? Let me take a drink first, right? It's getting better and better. It'd be a little too fruity, though. I hope it's not. Whatever. So anyway, I'm going to preface this with a story. The story is, I am Catholic, and I was at Mass. And I had a lady approach me and talk to me about, I think I was wearing something knitted. I don't know what I was wearing. I think I was wearing a shawl. And she asked me, oh, do you want to help us knit hats for the homeless? We do it every year, and then we give them away at Christmas time to the homeless men of Louisville. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I would love to help with that. And she said, oh, okay, well, we knit them on looms. And I was like, oh, looms. Okay. And she's like, well, let me show you, whatever. And we set up a time, and I went over to the church office, and she showed me her loom set. And she's like, oh yeah, it's super fast, it's super easy. The main lady can knock out one of these in like 2 hours, a whole hat. And they're thick, and they're great, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, skeptical, right? I was like, well, I would probably like to make hats that would be just knit by hand. And she's like, well, try this, because we've got a pattern that we follow. I'm taking dog hair off my yarn here, sorry. We got this pattern we follow, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. She let me borrow her looms. So I took the biggest loom, the loom that they use to make their hats with, and I followed the pattern, which is 2 strands of yarn held together on this circular knitting loom. And I have it in my car, but I haven't brought it up for this, because you know what a loom looks like. It's got all the pins around it in the circle, and you use them when you're like in 4th grade to make a tiny snake. It's an I-cord, basically. But, oh, there's my little brother. Okay, I caught up with him, and I found this little, hairpin that I'm using as a shawl pin currently. And, well, let me show you. It's got a little peacock on it, and it's red, and it's super cute. I bought it when I was up in Fargo visiting my friend, Nicole. And I will show you some pictures of some things I knit for Nicole's baby. And those were while I was in Tennessee, and her baby shower was like in a couple days from when I knit them, and it was just another baby soaker and then a hat that went with a cardigan that I knit last year. And so I knit the matching hat and then another little green baby soaker. So I'll put those pictures in here. But yeah, so those are sent off in Minnesota, to Minnesota / North Dakota, whatever. And so back to the loom. So she gave me this loom, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. I'll try it, and maybe it is that fast. Maybe it's so super fast to knit on a loom. And I knit this hat. This hat is gigantic. It's made for a man's head, and it's got this folded over area and a pom-pom on the top that whenever I put on pom-poms on hats, I always tie them like with a bow in the inside in case the person that gets the hat is like, no, I don't want a pom-pom. But anyway, this is knit on the loom until the decreases, and then the decreases, I took it all off the loom and just did it on like size, I don't know, 11 or 12 or something, maybe bigger, maybe 15. I knit it on big needles, big circulars to close off the hat. And I found the loom to be extraordinarily tedious and not fun at all. This yarn is just some scrap yarn. I think this is Karen's Simply Soft, the black, and then the red is like random Loops and Threads yarn from, oh, what store is that? Michael's does Loops and Threads, I think. But anyway, it's just some puffy red stuff. But it's a nice hat. It's really warm, so, you know, 2 strands held together makes a nice thick cap. But she called me the other day and she's like, oh, how is it going? Just wanted to check up with you and see how things are. And I said, yeah, they're going good. I don't like the loom at all, so I'm going to give it back to you. And so she said, oh, okay, that's fine. And so I will be returning the loom to my friend at church. But I did use it. I did make a hat. It's just like popping it up. My dog just flopped down right next to me. Popping it up over the edge of the loom, I don't know, it didn't feel good. It was like more work and more strain on my wrist, because you have to, like, I don't know, it's a weird angle in that hook that you use, and then plus trying to grab 2 strands at once, which is apparently like their protocol or how they're making them. I don't know. But anyway, made a hat. That's not that exciting, but I thought I would just detail the fact that I was not too impressed with the knitting loom. So now I'm going to move on to my one work in progress, and that is Ethereal Shawl by, who is it by? I didn't write it down. Ethereal Shawl. I'll put it down in the bottom and I'll link a picture. And it is oh, you know what? I've got the pattern right here. Okay. I know who it's by, because I'll find out. Lakshmi, Junja. I don't know. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's beautiful. It's just a really pretty lacy shawl, and there's all kinds of variations that people have done with it, and different colors and stuff. And I had one skein that I wanted to use in particular to do this shawl. And here is my work in progress. This is on my Carbons needles by Knitter's Pride. I love them. And this keeps getting weird. Ugh, don't be weird. Just be nice. So here is my Ethereal so far. Let me spread it out for you. And I'm debating on whether or not I should throw in an extra repeat of some of this lace work at the end. It's not optional in the pattern, so I'd be kind of making it up. But it's got like these little leaf flower things on the top. Very kind of similar to this pattern actually. But then it goes into more of a cathedral, I call it like a cathedral window looking part on the bottom. And yeah, it's really, let's see if I can spread it out better. I don't know. It's really pretty so far. And I'm knitting this on size 3 needles instead of 4 like the pattern calls for. And that is because I only have 1 skein of this yarn and I wanted to make sure I had enough. Well, I'm getting towards the end, like the last 20 rows, and I've got a lot left. Look at this. I haven't weighed it yet, but I feel like right now it's something like 40 something, 45 grams. Actually, yeah, probably about 45 grams. It's a little bit lighter than my skein that I spun up. And so I'm thinking about trying to do an extra repeat of those, the dotted rows, if that, the cathedral with the little circles in the inside. But then that might involve some serious yarn chicken. But anyway, let me tell you about this yarn. I am using Ella Rae's Lace Merino and the color 5, whatever. It's a fingering weight, pretty light fingering weight to be honest, yarn that I think on the tag calls for a US 4, but then it says 3.25. So these are 3s and these are 3.25s. But anyway, it's knitting up great. It's not fraying or anything. It's so pretty and I love this color. If you can't see it very well, it's like it's a tomato color, I would say. It's like it's not really red, it's not orange, it's right in there, in the middle between red and orange. It's a orange. And I love it. And so, yeah, another auntie shawl. I don't know which aunt it will be for. Whoever, I'm going to lay them out, whoever likes which one will get it. We'll get to keep it. And then I bought some beads for it today. And I would say I'm probably like, I don't know. It's not going to be a very big shawl because it has to just be this 1 skein. I'm not buying any more of this yarn. I think it was like, I don't know, $25 or something dollars, maybe more for the skein. And, oh, I don't want to be messing up my shawl. Yeah, so I'm not going to buy any more yarn, and if I can't finish it with what I have, I will be ripping it out and then re-knitting it, with some other way. But, yeah, that's my work in progress. Here are my beads. Oh, yeah. So, my first choice, I bought 2 different kinds of beads. There's these yellows that I think have a hint of chartreuse. And, I love these. I love this color. I think it's super sunshiny and bright. So that's the first one. And then the other color that I bought 2 of these just in case I changed my mind. It's basically the exact same color as the shawl, like a salmony, orangey red. These are called Bright Orange Luster. So those look great with it too, but I think I want to probably use the yellows with the shawl. What do you think? Do you think yellowy, possibly slightly green, or matchy-matchy? But, yeah, so I wanted to do the contrasting beads because this shawl was originally going to be a shawl called Frosty Apples Shawl/shawlette. And then I decided against it. I decided that the Frosty Apples didn't have enough points at the end of it, and I wanted to make sure that this red had some real interesting, like, instead of having like a more smooth cast off, bind off, I wanted it to have more of like a butterfly pointy look to it. So yeah, I'll probably be, I mean, I will be done by with that by the next podcast. So, now moving on to some things that I've purchased recently, which is basically the best part, right? Oh yeah, you know what? I talked about this in my last podcast. I bought this when I was up in Cincinnati. Anyway, side note, I'm getting sidetracked. So, okay, I'm gonna first go into some hand-spun yarn that I purchased. I was in New Albany, Indiana, which is very close to my house, maybe like half an hour away or something, and I went to this yarn shop called Grinny Possum, like grinning, but an E at the end, or Grinny with a Y at the end instead of grinning, Grinny Possum, and it's got a picture of the possum, whatever, in their logo. And I talked to the lady, I assume she was the owner. I didn't catch her name, I probably should have, but I bought some of her hand-spun yarn. And this is some thick and thin, gorgeous yarn in, like, I would call them Ariel the Mermaid colors. They're some of my favorite color combos are purples and teals and blues and greens. So this is purple and teal, huge, like kind of super bulky, thick and thin Shetland wool that she hand spun. And it smells fantastic. Smells like sheep, and I love it. I think she charged me $30 for both these skeins, huge skeins that she hand spun. And I don't know what I should do with them. I want to do like an auntie shawl, but it's such thick yarn that I don't know. Maybe I could make like a stole or something that would just be kind of like half scarf, half, I don't know. I have no idea what to do with this, but I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you, Grinny Possum, whoever you are. You are amazing. These are fun, and like, what a great price, you know, for somebody's hand spun yarn. Just really, really amazing. I was really impressed with her and how nice she was in the shop too. And I guess she does classes, so check her out. I think it's at grinnypossum.com. And just a cute little yarn shop in New Albany, Indiana. And next thing is, let's see, I guess, yeah, so next things are some things I purchased when I was down in Clinton, Tennessee, which is by Knoxville. This is the last place I was for my work. And I went to 2 different shops there and bought things at each of them. And the first one is Atomic Fibers. And that was near Clinton, Tennessee. And I saw it on Google. And Atomic Fibers is in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And I went in there and I bought a couple different things. And the first thing is super fun and super special for me. And that is this yarn bowl. This is a hand-turned yarn bowl, and it's super pretty. It's cream, and it's got like some beige, yellowy drips coming down in these pinky drips. And then the 2 little yarn holes in the back are, they're hearts. They're super cute, and it's a bigger bowl. There were little bowls that I liked a little bit more for the colors, but this one I knew I would be able to fit large skeins of yarn in it. Sorry, that clashes. I think the colors do not go together, but I wanted to show that it holds a big skein of yarn. Now this was hand turned for the Atomic Fibers location, which sells both knitting and quilting stuff. And this was hand turned by an artist named Ryan Brabby. And his name's on the bottom, and it says R. Brabby 2015. And yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I hope I don't break it, because sometimes I see posts on Instagram of people saying, oh, I broke my yarn bowl. But this is going to be, I will keep this at home, and I will keep it by the, by the couch. So there's my yarn bowl. Then I also went and bought at that same place I bought some, what's the, Classic Elite Yarns Mountaintop Veil. And Mountaintop Veil is one I've knit a shawl, half of a shawl in before, and it is 75% baby alpaca and 25% bamboo. It's the softest thing ever. It's a fingering weight yarn. It feels so good, and it drapes like nothing else, like nobody's business. Look at this drapage. You see this? And so this is the colorway I used for my shawl before, and I've got, it's almost a full 50 gram skein left, really. And then I've got these two, maybe it's like 40 or 30 grams, whatever. I've got a lot left of it, and then these two are both 50 grams each. So I'm hoping to put them together and create kind of a decent sized shawl out of them. And this colorway is 5518, and it's kind of a charcoal. I'd call it charcoal with a brown undertones. And then this is like a silvery white color. I mean, you could call it gray, but I would call it a light gray / silvery white. And yeah, I love this yarn. I recommend this yarn to anyone who likes yarn, and it is probably my favorite yarn of all time so far. After several years, many years of knitting, this is my personal fave. So bought that. Can't wait to knit that up into something or other. And then I visited another shop that was close to my hotel called the Appalacian Arts and Crafts Center, and they have a website too. It's called, like, I don't know, I'll put the link in the bottom, AppalachianArtsandCrafts.com, or Appalacian Arts Crafts Center. And they are all local artists that are part of a guild / co-op, and they rent this building or own it or something, and then if you're part of it, you sell your items in the shop as well as work a minimum of 4 hours in the shop each month. It's such a cool idea. I wish I lived in and or around that area of Clinton / Norris, Tennessee, because I would be a member of that guild and I would sell knitted things, I guess, or spin, or I have no idea what I would do. It doesn't matter. I do everything. But anyway, it was a fun store to visit. So much different stuff, ceramics and looms. They did a lot of weaving. Downstairs there's a weaver's guild, and she showed me the downstairs room, and it was awesome. So many looms set up, and they all get drug out, and there's a quilters guild, and oh my gosh, it's just, I just wish I could be there and be a part of it. So here is the bag with their website on it. But anyway, I got a couple things from there, not knitting related necessarily. Oh, it looks like one of them seemed to have gone away. I'll see if I can find that in a second. But the first one is a cup. It was my mom's birthday last week on the 28th or the 29th. I can't remember. Ooh. But anyway, I already kind of bought my dad a gift, and so I bought her this mug. It's a kind of a wine mug, and it's got these little indents to hold your hands, and it's a teal-y blue. I always think of my mom when I think of teal or aquamarine-y sort of colors, and this just looks so fun. It's so cute, and it was only $8 for this hand-turned mug. And so it's by In the Stix Studio. So one of the people in this part of the Appalacian Arts and Crafts Center. And she's got a website. I'll post it on the bottom, inthestixstudio.com. Stix is with an X. But it says it's microwave and dish safe. And this says, fill with your favorite adult libation. Number 2, grasp firmly. Number 3, tip and drink quickly. This prevents wasting valuable time. So it's just a cute little, card that goes with it. I'm going to send that to her in the post pretty soon. And then let me see if I can find the other thing I bought there. Well, shoot, I don't know where it is. But I'll show you next time. It's just a stained glass sheep. And it's about this big, and it's really cute. It's by a lady that does stained glass there, and it's a kind of a white cloud looking thing with a tail and then a sheep's head. And you could hang it like an ornament, or I think I'll hang it maybe from my rear view mirror to show the entire world that I love sheep so very, very much. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really cute. But, yeah, so that's it for Tennessee things that I purchased. The last thing I wanted to show you was some fun fabric I got at Joann's. I saw it one day in one Joann's, and then I had to go back to a different one to get it because it just stuck in my head. And I watched Doctor Who, and this fabric is Dalek themed. So it's got Daleks on it in various colors at various angles, white ones, yellow ones, blue ones, orange ones. And I love it. I fell in love with this fabric, and I decided I wanted to try to make a project bag out of it, and I am not a sewer, so we'll see how it goes. So I bought this, a half a yard, and I bought this contrasting color that goes with the orange for my inside, maybe the bottom of the project bag too. And then I bought a zipper to go on the top. So we'll see how that goes. You will see my first pathetic attempt at making a sewn project bag, and hopefully I have enough though, so if I mess up once I can just make another one, or commission someone to make it for me and give them the fabric. I don't know. But yeah, so that's all my stuff that I have going for me right now. It's been pretty hectic, but I have done a lot in the last month and a half or so, partially due to the fact that I have a lot of downtime when I'm working because we sit and wait for the bats to fly into the net. And you maybe know that if you saw me on Instagram, because I posted a picture of me holding a bat, and I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. And yeah, so it's been a fun summer so far. Mine has been going pretty good. Doing a lot of that out-of-town stuff, and that's given me the opportunity to knit quite a bit while I've been on the road, and then while I'm working I kind of have a little bit of spare time in between doing my bat stuff at night, where I can knit in the middle of the night with a headlamp on. But yeah, I've got some pictures of that posted on Instagram, like knitting while I'm out there in the night, and then also of the bats that I have caught. I think I just have one picture of me holding a bat, so that's really fun, and I hope your summer has been going as great and as productive as mine. And if not, you know what, that's okay too. Sometimes you gotta just take it easy. So cheers everyone. My name is the Tipsy Knitter, Nissa Wilson, and if you want to check me out on Ravelry, I post all my projects, or I try to post most of my projects. And I also am on Instagram as the Tipsy Knitter, and I am on Untapped if you drink beer. So you have a great day, you have a great summer, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.